ones. We see that obviously the Crimson Golden buff is going to be up in around about 6 seconds. Yixing, we see the Hailang, Shanks already rotating up to try and contest that one again. Maybe try and give it over to Shanks here. It looks like that may be the MO, but Kagendra, catch and win that do rotate into their own jungle.
Beautiful stuff here coming in from Kagendra. They know if they want to make sure that Weirao is sufficiently tanky, they learn from their lesson from game 1. They make sure this jungle is protected with no flaw.
No flaw at all. I mean, we can currently see already, we see the Lung Knight Guardian being built here onto Weiro Kagendra, but we do see that Nighty's helped himself to the enemy's Azure Golem, which is going to be trouble, right? I mean, Flowborn definitely gets better with that cooldown reduction.
And especially when we talk about Long Knight Guardian here, it's so good when you're against burst-heavy team compositions here. If you take about a full burst here, you recover back your health to a certain extent.
Yeah, certain extent, but here, Nighty not looking like he may be going worse for wear here. He's able to get out thanks to the skills here. We do get a lockdown onto Lu as well. So already out of the competition, there is going to be that dire idea into these next few team fights. Sustainability for the side of Kagendra is looking a little bit weaker.
And Senko here runs out of mana here. The next wave is about to approach. He needs to take this quick recall if he wants to look to defend this mid tower.
Yeah, I mean, the minion wave's crashing in at the right time, right? Like, this could be potential here, or at least keeping away Twisted Minds in that mid lane.
Ooh, this tempo is starting to look pretty 50-50 for both these two teams. As we're slowly approaching towards the later stages of the game, the Shadow variant is about to be sponsored, but Ihans might be catching a City Boy here.
Yeah, you don't want to lose City Boy, right? You mean that is a lot of sustain, a lot of healing, a lot of team fight potential, but Ihans is able to soak a lot of that damage, but not from Shanks. He gets the kill onto Ihans. That is going to be crucial for the next few team fights, right? We need Byron on there. We need that CC to get the catch onto those more squishier heroes.
And these are the moments that you cannot be faltering or be losing your tempo here.
No.
Immediately losing that kill onto Ihans here, your top goes down, your mid goes down. Right now,
2v2 into the backline, a bit of a pincer movement here from Twisted Minds as they look to take two of the side of Kagendra, as well as that T1 into the mid lane. We see the 90 tanking the damage, not able to actually finish it off. It just needs a little touch. Go on, just a tap.
Shanks just having an absolute insane of a game on this early here. He's unstoppable at this point. Just look at him. 7,000 leading the goal lead, and the top 3 is just full of Twisted Mind players as of this point.
Yeah,
if you hope for the late game for the side of Kagendra, it's so far gone up to this point.
It is. I mean, they definitely need to try and find a stop right, or at least make it into the late game, because that's where we can kind of see the damage come through here for Lanfang. He was 4th in that chart, so it is borderline between those two picks. But now, Kagendra have to make the effort here.
4-man board coming in, and right now they all get caught in the board. Weirao goes in, Ihans almost takes down Hailang. Is Steph Stone huge, but right now everybody goes down on the side of Kagendra. 2-man down, 4-1 for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, 2-1 trade overall here for Twisted Minds. Obviously, that puts them again ahead with that gold lead. 6K is looking pretty strong. Also, the Gorge presence here for the side of Twisted Minds is looking very strong. Kagendra already still have those high ground turrets, and that's what they're really going to be relying on here.
But blam, 5,000 gold lead prior to the first Shadow Tyrant. How are they ever going to be fighting this 5v5 that they desperately have to? And look at Lanfang, he's getting caught up by this Luna, dancing at the battlefield, still dancing, going in, going out, making sure that his team cleans it up.
Yeah, cleaning it up and cleaning some more. Weiro goes down at a crucial point within this best of 3. 10 minutes in, Shadow Overlord, Shadow Tyrant are on the board.
And right now, look at the top wave here. They are having a beeline straight towards the tier 3 coming in for Kagendra here. Shanks, he has that Maple Dance. He can block off these freshly forward.
Oh yes, City Boy going very engaged, very heavy in there. Sorrow that's going to keep him alive and take down that T3. They lose Shanks, but they gain so much more.
They indeed gain so much more here. That's so much gold being funneled over to the likes of Twisted Minds and all of them. Right now, they're positioning themselves towards the Shadow Tyrant here. It's a 5v4 Kagendra. If it's not now, it's never for the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great bit of pressure they put here, right? Top side of the map is going to have a lot of pressure. Now they can try and go for this Shadow Tyrant. Again, a lot more damage coming up to Twisted Minds if they're able to get this, but 90 looking a little bit too worse for wear into the backline. He meets the couple blades from Senko on the side of Kagendra, and now. Ions looking into the thick of it. We don't need that right now. Action is going on. We are seeing that it's already a 2v1 trade here between Kagendra as they're trying to push away Twisted Minds.
And Wirama here might be caught up by the Luna here, follows in. Ali comes in, the Ali picks up kill onto Wirao here. Two members are staying alive on the side of Kagendra here. To might look for the final defense. Look at the damage coming in from the Luna here. It's exceptionally high. They go back, they take the Shadow Tyrant, they look to plan for the final push towards the last chance.
Yeah, I mean, Lu and Senko being the last two alive here, it's going to be enough to keep the minions out of that crystal, but it is not enough to move out of your crystal core, right? They are now, Twisted Minds is the they I'm speaking about, are going to have a lot of free reign onto the jungle.
Ooh, they're definitely twisting whatever they need towards the win condition right here. Just look at the damage dealt by Shanks and Clean. A total of 140,000 damage just at 12 minutes. That's insane. The gold they are funneled, the amount of damage, the room that they can have to do damage is just so perfect in this game.
So perfect, and even is the takedown of the T2 as well here. So already still putting that pressure on is Twisted Minds. The Warsbud board is not going to catch anybody just yet. Clean actually gets a little bit of a hit there, but that couple of blades is going to be enough to clear out that minion wave. And there it is! Shanks gets taken down. This could be crucial, but they still have a lot of damage thanks to Highline, thanks to Clean.
Shanks slightly overextending here. The marksman not being able to live for the final push. That will serve a small issue here for Twisted Mind to realistically close out this game.
Realistically close out this game, exactly. I mean, this could potentially be here. The enhanced minions into the top side of the map. Lu looking pretty low. You don't want to be losing out that idea just yet.
Right now, Twisted Mind, they acknowledge the fact that they lose out their marksman, they recuperate, they go for the Shadow Overlord take in 4 seconds once Shanks is spawned back right into the map.
Yeah, just for those watching at home, obviously you don't want to really be going for the Shadow Overlord when you have that Primal Bond. When you take one of the neutral objectives, you get a debuff. It takes longer to get the second neutral objective, so timing by Twisted Minds is perfect here.
Exactly, and especially right now, they go back and collect the buffs, they push all together to finish this game. And look at the replay here, okay. Luna goes in, immediately styles onto 4 members, single-handedly taking out Lanfeng and making it out alive. That was how they won the 4v5 here coming in from Twisted Minds.
Yeah, a great kind of team fight here as well. I mean, definitely what you want to be doing here, but also to obviously the praise of Kagendra, they are trying their best to keep this game to victory, at least some kind of hope, right? But right now, it's looking very bad.
The hope is slowly but surely fading away as the Shadow Vanguard is marching towards the bot side. Clean goes extremely low, but the fight is about to open up.
Yeah, speaking of opening up, we're closing it down with that World's Wide board, catching out 3 on the side of Kagendra, and down goes Lu. Your sustain is gone. So is your tag. Kagendra looking low. They need to wipe out these Vanguards, but they have no resources. It is going to be a 2-0 sweep for the KMW champions, Twisted Minds.
With that win, Twisted Mind advances once again, a step closer to the last chance. They will face the loser between Nova and BSE in this upcoming match.
Oh, I mean, is it going to be a first round matchup again, obviously Nova against Twisted Minds, or are they going to go and try and take down the second seed of the MKL? But they've taken down the champion of the IKL.
And that we have to bid goodbye and say thank you to Kagendra as they have ended their journey here in the KWC 2025 here, Blam.
I mean, I just want to put something out there. I mean, EWC 2024, it was Kagendra that waved goodbye to 4 of the boys onto the side of Twisted Minds.
Done their homework. They came in with a BP that has surprised a lot of us in a lot of different bands and a lot of different picks. There is not much time until we move into the Gorge. Nova Esports, on my opinion, they have a little bit of a better pick.
I love their draft. It's so innovative.
Their comp is really good.
Out of these past few days, we've been seeing the same similar drafts here, but Nova Esports at the upper bracket, the direct access to the playoffs here, bringing out such fantastic picks, Fuzi, Diaochan, and ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the Gorge.
All right, Nova Esports again, Black Shrew Esports is going to be the final of the upper bracket. Whoever that takes the dubbing here is going to move into the group of kings.
Moving to the group of kings is that only can be one MKL represented in that top part, but they can drop down to the lower part here. Waypit not looking too hot there, has to expand the flash already.
Ooh, Waypit almost gets sniped here, but Musang King, with the help of the Jing, immediately secures this blue buff invade onto CY of this Agudo.
Yeah, BSE playing very aggressive here, right? I mean, they were straight into the mid lane, making sure they was able to get that common skill off of the side of Nova as well as the Azure Golem.
And BSE on the other side is just completely protecting all the jungle, right? Like they knew that they came in, they dealt damage, and then immediately going to protect jungle.
And that is the game plan of CY's Agudo, right? You want to make sure that he gets this early game. And look at Shren here with the Fuzi immediately pressuring a 1v2 situation here. Xiang is getting immensely punished by this Fuzi pick.
Yeah, speaking of getting punished, right, he still gets hit by those flaming palms. It's going to be enough to keep him away, but I feel like here what we haven't spoken about is obviously the split push potential between the Agudo and the Futsu as well, right? Like, that could be so fast, so aggressive.
And to add on, imagine you're a Jing. You want to be staying away from Shren's Fuzi. You don't want to get locked down by the ultimate, by the Sage Might. You can't be moving at all.
Yeah, that's a tricky way, right? I mean, Sage's Might is definitely going to be the thing that's going to be the leash for Jing.
Musang King right now already on level 4. They've got a little bit of an advantage and he procs his ult.
Oh, he procs his ult. Waypit gets taken down. Are they going to look for some more or just clean out this minion wave?
Man, that was clean stuff coming in from Blackstreet Esports here because they know for a fact that after that level 1 invade, Waypit had no flash. They had the exact timer. And what's the cooldown? 2 minutes.
That is very, very, very long. A long time for them to wait and a long time to don't have that special ability.
Very long time. I mean, we know that these teams are obviously of the top caliber, especially within the MKL, and they are going to know these timings to a T, right?
Exactly, and these are the core fundamentals of a pro team here. You need to remember what is the cooldown timer, and Sage Might hits onto Xiang, but it's just out of the tower here. Xiang can just safely escape this.
Yeah, try to pull him back in to try and get hits onto the turret, but I mean, with Sohong and Musang King just within the wing, I don't feel like anything was going to be pressured there, right?
I mean, if it was right under the tower, it might result into a kill, but it's just way too short of an ultimate here. So, Xiang there, he got out alive and it was A-okay for the side of Blackstreet Esports.
Now let's wait and see what their decisions are going to be, right? Like, because right now, we can see Agudo just making the rotations around, just cleaning the farm, moving around, just trying to be very mobile. On the other side, Musang King just giving us a master class of early game.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about the Agudo as well, right? Like, you want to be very proactive within your roams. You want to make sure you put in the pressure, obviously, into the mid lane to get a bit of resources over to yourself. Because right now, is behind is going to be CY. But if you're on a Jing, you want to be ahead. You want to make sure you're keeping and maintaining that lead.
And just look at Zihong here. He's putting so much pressure on this Maestro Nui here. And this 1v1 to the bot side is in favor of JR on this long here. But ladies and gentlemen, 30 seconds on the clock. Then we will see the first Tyrant to be spawned in this epic showdown.
Be careful. They might want to just come in. The pressure on that mid lane, it's so high. It's impossible. Just Zihong is just putting so much pressure on the wave that it's impossible on the other side for Wendy to get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only the pressure obviously into the mid lane as well, right? We've already seen that JR is putting that work in down into the farm lane as well. Or we're looking to try and give some intel to see where CY is situated here. And he's situated back at base.
Dien played that immensely well, but the fight has to continue as Dien goes in. Look for Wendy. Wendy dances, but look at the Ali here, almost taking down Zihong here, but they come out alive here. But look at Shrendo, he's lurking.
BSE coming in, taking the kills, and right now they're gonna take that free Tyrant Lamb.
Free Tyrant, free damage. That movement speed increase is gonna be crazy.
For me, I think Dien plays so well in that fight. When Agudo is channeling the smite onto the jungle camp, he got cancelled immediately. The buff went wide open here. He had no furball, he had no defensive. Immediately gets jumped on by Zihong on the Maestro and follow up immediately by Musang King's Jing.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that towards the latter part of that team fight that Shawan was trying to get back in next. I mean, if he kind of made it into that component, could have been scary for the side of BSE.
He was a little bit just too far away from the fight, so he did not have a good positioning for it.
And just look at Muchi's build real quick. Spark Sports Dagger that we've seen so far from the last 2 games here. If you go for this build, it's talking that, hey, I want to go the semi-time build because why? Double assassin lineup coming in from Musang King's Jing and Zihong's Maestro Nui here. And also, look at Zihong here, picking up the crucial Venomous Staff to counter
Of
what?
course.
Waypit's healing, CY's healing on the Yuhuan, on the Aguro here. This is what we're talking about. Fight healing by healing reduction.
On Nova on this side, I know that when Wendy's damage is going to be online, it's going to be a lot of damage. We know that that's going to be a lot of pressure coming in as the rotations are coming and bringing everyone down to the farm lane.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is here with Nova's draft is you don't want to be in a tight circle, especially with Wendy onto the dial chan here. We've seen that Musa kicks going in once again. The Bridal Outburst goes in, catches Wendy like we was talking about just moments ago. The re-initiation for the JR. Dion is going to be there to soak a lot of the damage and bring that to a 1-1 trade.
Again, the fight happens around an objective here. BSE has the timer of the Crimson Golem here. Immediately, a fight breaks out, and Dian, once again, with a beautiful Unbridled Outburst following the chain crowd control, takes the life of Wendy.
Black Shrew Esports right now is doing amazing because the person that they lost in there was a roamer. So it's totally fine if Tranfe is the one person. From the 5 of them, if someone needs to fall, let it be him.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not going to take a team fight directly after another team fight, right? So it is a good call here to lose Dion just to make sure you get out alive.
But for me, it's still banking to the fact that this game is a 50-50 because looking at Nova Esports draft, they are so mid to late game centric here. You have 4 mid to late game heroes here. As long as CY can beat the early game rotation, hold down the fort for the early game, the other 4 will prove up huge in the mid game.
We're coming into the 7 minutes mark, a little bit more of a 2,000 gold lead. It's not gonna be enough for BSE, as we just mentioned that they might want to start fighting in here. Look at the pressure that right now Nova is trying to put on that turret.
Already using the flash there is Xuan, so we know that he wasn't able to get the flash and the Sage's might combo, so that could be something that is going to worry the side of Nova going into these next few engages.
Exactly, without the primary engage here coming in from Nova, Esports, they have to play reactive, and once again, a fight breaks out at the Golem.
Big fight comes through. Yep, the rage is built up. The Unbridled Outburst is available, and there it is. It catches one. It gets Xuan as well. So already taking down 2 on the side of Nova.
Musan King comes in, takes double kill, and right now the whole map is looking red, and it's the red of BSE.
The BSE Red is dwelling onto Heroes Gorger, and they are looking to knock on this mid lane tower as Musan King once again goes for Wendy.
Oh no, Wendy, that's a casualty you don't want to fall. That is BSC tearing apart their T1, tearing down their mid lane.
I said that it was not a big gold advantage, and right now in the spawn of just 30 seconds, it came from 2K all the way to 4K, and if we keep just snowballing like this, it's gonna be too much for them to take.
And that is the beauty of playing around the objective. This is the BSE playstyle. They only take fights when they want to take fights. Where is it? The Azure Golem, the Crimson Golem, the mid tower all went into their pockets, and they punished Nova. Punish heavily.
Punish heavily indeed. I mean, that's it. It's keeping Nova kind of restrained here. They're not going to be able to kind of get out and get the lead that they want to, right? And even more, a surmountable neutral objective being secured here is going to be that Tyrant once again.
They have timers on everything. All the information is for BSE. Nova just trying their very best just to try to keep her alive. But look at Dian, he comes in, he flanks, and the fight starts!
2 gets taken down there with the Unbridled Outburst, but there we go. CY is able to take down the Maestro Noi as well. Muchi actually coming out swinging. This is going in favor of Nova Esports. Don't count them out yet.
And what did I talk about, guys? Give them the mid game and they will come in heavily. You have Musan King flying around the mirror domain? No problem. Fuzi from Shen locked you down.
Once you are in trouble, you need to find someone that is going to stand up. And Mutsu right now with that double kill comes in, takes the kills, and right now pushes the waves, and they might take that tier 2 turret.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic outcome here, but that replay is definitely needed, right? There was so much going on, but as you can see here, there was a fight into the top side here, just keeping locked down the side of BSC whilst everything was being focused here as well. So a fight on 2 fronts.
BSC had the advantage right over there. They took the priority. Both flanks, they had control, vision. The stun comes in, and how did they lose that one over there against Nova?
Well, one thing's for sure, they overdove into 2 turrets here. We see Musan King mirror swapping turret to turret and taking so much tower damage even before the Sage Might. But ladies and gentlemen, 10 minutes strong, and Nova, they are looking at the Shadow Tyrant, and both teams here, they look to enter. Go!
Go, go, go. I mean, a bit there. Sage Mike locks down the Jing. Is going to be enough to take down that jungle. Sion Ghost gets taken down. Muchi with the double kill coming through.
It is just lovely how Mutsu right now just coming and just taking the script, tossing it into the bin, and asking us to rewrite it completely as they go all the way to the high ground.
He is so clean onto this early. This is why you always prioritize early on Muchi.
Muchi, yes, exactly. Shining here after that double kill. Gets the takedown here onto the high ground turret. Nova was just waiting for that prime moment. Like you were saying, Sagi, mid to late game is their game.
You can never count them out, I'm telling you. All these top teams, it's not about the 1 to 2,000 gold. It's about the timing of the fight. It's about how to come back. The team fight that they formulate. Look at Nova Esports. Look at BSE. Masterclass of team fighting.
I just love how just Mutsu in this moment stood up and he just said like, okay, I'm gonna be the captain of this whole ship. Just give me that and I will take you to the victory.
Yeah, give me the control, give me the helm, and I will get you to your destination. And that destination ultimately was the Shadow Tyrant, was the high ground turret.
But still, it's only a 1.5k gold lead coming in from Nova Esports here. Can they break it open? We don't know. We know for a fact that they are really good at team fighting here, but still, they recognize the fact that, hey, they have Shadow Tyrant here. We cannot approach this Vanguard, even under Primal Bond.
We knew that it was going to be a coming and going, that it was going to be throwing punches, and this has not disappointed at all.
Not disappointed at all. I mean, speaking of this, we mentioned it in the previous game, right? Primal Bond is up, but still, it didn't stop Nova. Nope. They have so much damage coming through for them right now, and they now have the Shadow Lord Overlord in their possession.
This is the mid to late game I'm talking about. Once they are coming online, this is the level of effort, this is the level of pressure that they're applying right now. The pressure is applied on the tier 3.
They're looking for it, they're looking for a way in, right? Wendy is already kind of overzealous here, but he gets back to his circle of safety.
And looking at the current state right now, another tier 3 falls towards the hands of Nova Esports. They are slowly approaching, chunking down all members of BSE. The rotations here are slowly looking towards the bottom lane of the final tier 3 of Backstreet Esports.
It's going to be a big 5v5 as the Vanguards are coming in. The first target is going to be that high ground turret. As the high ground turret goes down, it's going to be more bangers coming in for Nova to try to take the game.
Yeah, more bangers, more mash, but we're going to be seeing here the takedown of that T3 into the bot side of the map potentially here, but it is going to be BSE to their props. They're able to wipe out those minions and the critters right now.
And the Shadow Overlord has arrived towards the bottom lane of BSE. Will Nova look for a final push to take down this final tier 3 off the side of BSE?
They're trying to find the flank. They do not see the flank, but they take the turret. Now the Vanguards come in. It's going to have to be a decision. They don't want to push it. They need to go back.
They need to go back. I mean, yes, they're only ahead by around about 4k gold here, but they're looking to get some more to finish off that itemization.
And look at the itemization coming in from Muchi here. We talked about it. He wants to be more tanky. And what way of doing it is buying the Curious of Savagery. And he's looking to either finish the Blood Weeper or the Mortal Reminder.
I was really looking forward for the Diao-chan, but you know what? Is the Arlie the one that's going to be carrying the game?
It's kind of like a bait and switch, right? It's kind of like, hey, let's focus on my right fist, but I'm going to go in with the jab with my left. And that's exactly what Nova is doing here within these team fights. 4-0-2 is Muchi right now.
Exactly, Muchi carrying a lot of weight and all of Nova Esports. Just like TM said, you play as one, and this one mind, a collective hive mind, is really making it work.
Super minions coming in from all the 3 different lanes for 25 seconds for that Dark Tyrant. Nova has it in their hand. They do not want to rush it. They want to take this steady.
Yep, they always say that shouldn't rush in, right? I mean, you can't hurry love and you can't hurry a victory into the King's group stage.
And for me, I think after we realize this, the final team fight in front of the Crystal is severely important. And what way to secure a team fight is by securing this Shadow Tyrant and formulating a final fight.
And they're going to rush it, but look at that. The Howling Emblem comes in, forces Xuan to flash away, and they want to fight that.
They want to fight, and it's going to be Dion taking a lot of those blows onto the chin right now. We do see that CY is coming in. The Bridal Embers from Dion is going to be disruptive enough to see this team fight go into the side of DSE. Miyabuchi does go down, and we are looking at a trade 1v1 right now. A lot of fights going on. Musan King delivers an escape into the back line, but is it going to be enough to run away from Furball?
He's extremely low. He's being chased on by 3 members, and he gets last hit by the jungler of Nova Esports.
A lot of damage already been expended here by BSC. They've only lost Jing, they've lost the Mai Shiranui, so really, they don't have Dion to use that Unbridled Outburst.
This is team composition, right? You take out Muji, but you still have Wendy, you have CY, you have Shren. It's a collective few members of everyone doing damage. And look at Wendy, he's dancing at the base.
They want to go for the last push. Look at that. The super minions are coming in and the fight goes one more time.
Fight's going one more time. JR looking low. Siang is already low enough to go down as well. The Unbridled Outburst catches 2, but it's not going to stop the force. Oh, Nova taking game 1.
What a way of making a comeback here. They know their timers. They know their power spike. Playing towards that, they formulate such a good mid to late game here. Yes, in the final moments, you got Muji. But still, there are so many carry players coming in from the side of Nova Esports to back Muji up even if he falls.
Yeah, I mean, so many things. I mean, like we were saying, like Isaac saying in that game that we were scared about Wendy on the dial chat. But really, the prime suspect here for the takedown of BSC was Muji. But overall, that hive mind came through thick.
And for me, especially when we talk about, yes, BSE, they play around all these Crimson buffs. They got so many of these early fights. A 2,000 to 3,000 gold lead falling into favor for them, and it was so great in the early game. But still, you gotta remember, it's not always about the early game. You scale, and what you scale into fruition coming in from Nova Esports.
I think that the early game is a very big advantage, but if you don't know how to control it and how to materialize it into taking the win, then I think that that early game just was completely wasted by BSC. They had an amazing start. They knew exactly, and it was in this fight that everything turned around.
And exactly, you see, they are fighting between 2 turrets here. Zihong overtime himself, and Musanki taking so many turret shots here. It's not a ground you want to be fighting in, tanking so many turrets.
You don't want to be taking shots from the teammates, and let alone the turrets as well, right, Sagi? But here again, we saw that BSC was really trying to formulate and lock down one of the side of Nova. It just wasn't quite enough. Chuan's there just to be so impressive to take down Musan King, to look at holding in a De Jong.
And look at this, even if you take down Muji here, all the other members of Nova are still standing strong, especially the late game trend of Shren and Wendy. They're just dancing, resetting their spells in the team fights here, making sure that even in the late game, they can still carry without Muji.
I loved how at the end of the game, they've just made that decision just to go and push for the high ground. They knew that they had only a one-man advantage, but it was nothing for them to fear. They came in, took the push, and they took the first victory for this game 1.
It's like we mentioned, obviously, BSC, Nova knew the timers of this game. They knew what exactly was the potentials and the limits of their opponents, and they knew when to strike. And Nova, when they were backs towards the walls, around about those T2 territories, they knew that they had to strike there and then. And it was the overzealous of Musan King taking that fight between those 2 turrets.
This is the championship mentality. Even though your back's against the wall, you still have to come in with composure, know your game plan, know your power spikes. Takes fight that you can actually take. Avoid when in all costs. Look at Muji. All of the fights that were occurring at the Crimson, at the Azure, he was nowhere near. He was making sure that he was getting farmed in some form or another way.
Let's take a deeper look into the stats. And when we analyze the damage dealt, the damage taken, the total gold, when these numbers are put right over there in front of us, what can we see?
What can we see is the fact that obviously there's a big team fight participation rate from the side of Nova Esports, right? Like they're all around about that same function. You can see down to the bot side of it, obviously BSE, JR, Dion, always looking trying to rotate with each other. Whereas obviously the Mai Shiranui, so as Zihong as well as Siang is just looking for those pickups, and it was just always a little bit too slow.
You can see from those percentages that it was always big fights, right? Like it was always these 5v fights always happening in there. But at the tempo and the pace that people were arriving to the fight, it was completely different.
And just look at Wendy's build here. He opted for a semi-tank build. Holy Grail into the Ice Blocker, into full tank here. Whatever you do to him, he's gonna be dancing. He's gonna be flourishing this map with the Yao Chan ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just one movement speed decrease item. He's got the Ominous Premonition as well as the Glacial Buckle as well, right? So as soon as you are locked into Wendy, you're kind of just running slow, like as if you're going in like a Baywatch movie, right? Just going, yeah, literally. It's probably what they needed here for the Nova Esports, especially trying to lock down the likes of that Jing and the Mai Shiranui.
I love that Baywatch note, man. I know that half of the people don't know what we're talking about, but I really appreciate that one.
Thank you. I know that one. I know that one. Far too well. Maybe it's showing our age.
Oh, gosh. Nova Esports take the victory in what looked like BSE could actually just clutch in an early game in there. Early game for BSE. They need to be thinking about what to do in there. Now, Nova Esports had an MVP, had a person that stood higher than everyone else. And what about if we just put the spotlight on that, man? It is going to be Nova Esports CY on that Agu duo.
Even though he got so pressured by the likes of the entire BSE team, you gotta give him props. He was playing a consistent game. He had 100% kill participation, and all the fights, he was also providing so much room, so much healing, so much pressure towards Blackstreet Esports.
A massive amount of pressure. This is why I like the Agudo pick, right? Like, you don't have to be the biggest playmaker. You just need to be there to be the forefront of your team. Use Furball as that pseudo tank, but then also use your first skill just to offer out so much healing, especially when you're playing to a circle parameter, like we saw Nova Esports do.
Exactly, and we talk about this Furball so many times. Agudo is a staple pick even in the MKL. It's so consistent and solid here, and this one, even for CY, it took a while, but eventually in the further team fights, he was a force to be reckoned with.
A force to be reckoned with, indeed. I mean, that's not the only thing for Agudo as well, right? Like we were saying in the introduction, that push, the push potential for the Agudo, especially paired with the Futsu as well, super crazy.
Crazy days, crazy times that we're living right now. But I am super entertained from game one. Let's move into game two. Game two is going to be BSC, the ones that they need to come in with a better strategy. I do believe that their plan was working at the beginning, but there were some decisions in there that turned the tide around.
And these are the peak level of games, right? It's top level Honor of Kings. If you make one small mistake, it's going to be torn wide open by your opponent as well as themselves. They are a top tier team. They know when it is to strike back.
And right now, the Jing is already out of there. Like, the Jing was already picked. Sadly for BSE, it's not going to be available no more since we're in global ban pick.
Exactly. This is the where you start to become the victim of the global ban pick, and it makes even more weight to the words that I was saying within the introduction to this game, right? Is that the global ban pick is the start of this match, not that 0.000 seconds on the board. It's at this point.
But you know what? Nova Esports very, very smart. They took the Dialchan, they took the Futsu that are not like very meta picks right now in this moment, and they just having those two lanes, they already have a very big advantage.
And especially in global ban pick, it tests your hero pool. That's why it's such a competitive format. It doesn't only test the players, it also tests the planners. Who are they? The coaches. If the coaches can battle, outwit the one another, that's where you gain an advantage or a lead.
So if right now they have that advantage, what do you think they need to focus on right now as we move into the next round of ban and picks?
I mean, like we saw in that game number one, right? Like, it doesn't quite matter what like the draft is. It's like how you execute it and knowing the limits and the timers of that draft. So as long as you know what you are locking in and when they activate, that's the most important thing between these two teams because they're playing at such a high level.
And right now, if you're Nova Esports, right, you just have to ban out the early and pay, and you can lock away most of the threat coming in from Blackstreet Esports. But if you think about Blackstreet Esports Game 1 draft, there's so many heroes expended. You have the Dark Fate, the Lone, the Mai Shiranui, all of these picks being thrown under the bus due to global ban pick.
Extremely costly. Extremely costly for BSE. Those options are not going to be on the table no more. And I know that the coaches are thinking about that. Both coaches are going to have the focus right now on that BP, thinking, how can I just kind of like narrow the options for the opponents to take the victory away from me?
Yeah, I mean, we always say that it's a 5v5 game, but when it is that BP, it's a 6v6, right? It's the
Yes.
battle of the masterminds of those coaches, and really, that's where the beauty starts to lie.
And I'm telling you, a very good coach can really make it a 5+1 is bigger than 6. I am completely sure of that.
Absolutely, but we're going to get into the game number 2 BP right here. We're already seeing that Black Shrew Esports are denying the Lung and denying the Mai Shunoi that they picked in game number 1.
And this opens up for the Luna to be picked up from the side of Musang King here, because the main counters has been removed from the side of Nova Esports. And right now, Luna, another jungle assassin, has been locked in from the side of Musang King.
A beautiful start. Beautiful, beautiful start. We already saw one Luna today. It flew and dealt damage and dealt disaster and created just a complete mess in front of her. Is this Luna going to be the same? Can we expect that?
We can try and expect that, but I mean, if statistics, if we're looking at it, the Luna always comes through onto the blue side, right? So if Luna was going to come through, it was definitely being written in the stars already when we saw that Black Shrew Esports locked in that blue and it survived those first 2 waves. But right now, let's look at Luna's kit.
And why is Luna difficult, right? It's like survival damage, yeah, it's pretty good, it's pretty alright, but difficulty stems in being able... Exactly. Difficulty stems in being able to reset your ultimate.
Yes, exactly.
You want to reset your dash, you gotta make sure you hit these marks coming in from where? Your passive, your spell 1, your spell 2. That's what makes a good Luna player.
An extreme Azure Golem dependent. Very, very Azure Golem dependent.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
it means that if your Azure Golem is just being taken away, that Luna is the same as just not having another player in there.
Exactly. It's like having another minion, but there we go. Nova Esports already doing a little bit of their homework as well, right? Because we're talking about the marks of Luna, and that's how she gets on top of you. Who can get rid of that cleanse? It's the Diranger, right?
Yeah.
Using that second skill, you can completely get rid of that mark. So if they dive on top of you, you've completely messed the flow of Musang King on the Luna.
Exactly, and that's how you want to be countering this pick, right? But you gotta look at both of these team compositions. Yes, Luna can fly around the team map, can do so much mobility. Look at Nova Esports, they're looking for these big engages here. They're putting Diranger onto Muji here. He's gonna say like, hey, you're gonna be staying in the back line, you're gonna be dealing with yourself. We're gonna be going in and doing all the damage we can do.
So much pressure on Mutsi right now, but he had such an amazing performance before. Is it going to be the same? Can we expect that he can deal with the pressure of having to carry the team one more time?
I mean, I hope so, and I really think so, but I feel like the core shifted a little bit here as well, right? I mean, Xuan is getting his Dharma, and we always regard that Xuan is one of these top Clash Lane players within Honor of Kings Esports. So him getting that playmaking pick that is the Dharma that we've already seen multiple times within the KWC, I feel like the core is changing here.
Exactly, and I feel like we might just see a calming special coming in from Wendy here.
Yeah,
because when we talk about Diranger, we always think about the early towards the mid game here. And if you lose out the late game firepower, it wouldn't be the case. And what's late game firepower? It's gonna be Wendy's signature, Kong Ming.
I'm scared of this one. I'm scared of this one. We've seen this performance time and time again. It's like watching The Last Dance, but this is going to be Nova Esports. Wendy on the Kong Ming using the ultimate strategy to lock down and have the hone-in skill with the ultimate is going to be very damaging here for the side of Black Shrew Esports. But when there is damage, what do you need? You need healing and you need Yu Huan.
You need Yu Huan, and they lock it in for DN as well. It's a very good pick when it comes to like really being able to push out the vision, because a Yu Huan roam using your Unending Sorrow, you can escape from many situations here. So definitely a smart pickup here coming from the side of Black Shrew Esports here. And talking about Marco Polo here, a very good pick towards the mid to late game stages of the game. It's a battle between the Marco Polo carry against Kong Ming. And right now, Nova Esports, what's a better way of cutting out healing? It's the Musashi.
I mean, he's got 2 blades, right? That's a lot of cutting that he can be doing, and obviously he's duel to the death for those at home that have maybe never even touched the Musashi. He can dive straight back in onto the back line. So if you're trying to really protect something like the Marco Polo, you can go in, knock them up, and then your team can collapse.
Is this the first Musashi we see in the KWC 2025?
It is indeed.
I think we saw Yukio Tachibana. We did see that one, but I don't remember seeing Musashi in these 4 days.
I don't think we see Musashi so far, but we may be wrong, we may be right. But what's wrong or right is for the players to decide who wins this game or match.
One more time, the coaches from Nova Esports just showing us a little bit of what they have prepared for, right?
Yep, so this is confirmed. It is going to be the debut of the Musashi. So right now, we've seen that Musashi, like we saw, it pairing up there, the ban of the Diadea, the ban of the Motsu, starts to make sense of why the Musashi came through. Because if you have those two picks, you can just stop him in his tracks. Like, no amount of extreme speed is going to get you out of that CC.
It is a very interesting ultimate, the one that Musashi has, right?
Exactly, you get to dive the backline, but you also apply the strongest form of healing reduction onto your enemy. They can't heal, they only get the heal after the duration of the ultimate. Hence, that's why it's called Due to the Death.
Another finer detail as well is his Illuminating Slash. That first skill, if it's timed correctly, he can block the Destructive Deluge.
Oh yeah, blocking Destructive Deluge and being immune to crowd control. That is the kit coming in from Musashi. That's why it's so good and commonly picked in the MKL. But without further ado, let's check out the team composition of both teams here.
Both teams here have locked in all this in, but this could potentially be the last match within this series, which would be super duper interesting for Nova to still be in that 2-0 sweep.
One team moves forward and one team goes down to the lower bracket. This is going to be do or die on the Gorge.
Do or die on the Gorge. But before that, let's get a technical pause first, as we may have a bit of a tech issue here. But let's talk a bit on these two drafts. Looking on the side of BSE's draft, they definitely want to be playing towards two win conditions, being the Luna's early to mid game tempo and the Marco Polo's mid to late game dominance in the side lane and in the team fight with the Resplendent Revolver and with the true damage. And let's look at the side of Nova Esports.
Looking at the side of, obviously, Nova Esports, they do lock in the Zheng Fei, which we've already seen the BSC use last game, right? So Dion really set up some really good engages, some really good team fights that really disrupt Nova Esports in that one. Now it's over to the hands of Nova Esports. Are they going to do the same?
I really love the calming pick coming in from Wendy here because we talked about it so many times. It's always Wendy doing all these DPS, doing the highest amount of damage onto the field. And if you put Wendy on these firepower heavy picks, you will always see it come to fruition here. And that is the main firepower you have to stop if you're BSE. If you can mute Wendy from this game, you can have a better way of advancing to a 1-1 nil.
Yeah,
it is just so hard to mute Wendy.
Yes.
Like, we could actually just say, like, okay, what you need to do is just to stop him. Stop him and that's it, right? But how do you do that? It's like, that's the difficult part.
That's for you to find out.
That's us first to find out, especially after this technical pause. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of body blocking, especially with the ultimate from Kongming, because you don't want that landing onto the likes of the Marco Polo, right? Like, that will delete, like, pretty much like 3/4 of his health.
Exactly, and it also really commends the entire draft of Nova Esports. Muchi on the Diren Jie will be facilitating the early to mid game thanks to the hero's strong early to mid power spike. On the side of Kongming, being to the addition of Nova Esports, it just makes so much sense because you lack the late game firepower. You need a late game mage, a strong carry mage, and who else fits the job? Kongming.
I mean, not just who, but which player. I mean, Wendy from the MKL, obviously, on this pick, had great performance and great promise. So really, is he going to be the carry? Obviously, Dieringer, towards the latter part of the game, can be quite a good carry, right? But he has to start to get the Spark Forge Dagger in the early game to get that wave clear come through. And then, as we've seen in multiple games, building those defenses means that towards it, you are going to lack the damage.
I think that we are almost ready to go back. I can see already like the players getting ready, trying to get back in the Gorge. We're really sorry that we had some technical difficulties, but you know what? It's esports. When the tech doesn't want to tech, it is really hard just to go.
Yep, when the tech don't tech, the game don't start. But we'd rather get it all fair and square for these players onto the Gorge. We don't want anybody at a disadvantage, especially at this point in the tournament.
Can you imagine disadvantaged right now when it's do or die?
Yeah.
I don't want that. I am totally fine with just sitting here and just talking to people for a little bit longer.
Exactly that, exactly that. Get a little bit more of Sagi's advice on these drafts. So what are the key points between these both teams, do you think?
Ooh, key points. Nova Esports needs to facilitate the Luna's early game here. And for Nova Esports, it's definitely banking on Muchi and Wendy. But don't forget about Xuan, don't forget about Waypit, because that's a lot of engage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back online. It's going to be BSE on the blue side and Nova on the red side. I am Isaac Peña.
I am Blam.
And I am Sagi.
Let's go, boys.
Let's go. This could be the last game within this series, but do we really want it to be? No, we do not. And neither does Xuan want this TV1 to be a takedown here. Both going into the turret. Could be the takedown here for Nova. So first blood going over to BSC once again.
Ooh, beautiful stuff here coming in from Blam. Really making sure that their game plan paid off. And look at that right now. They're advancing towards the middle of the lane to cut off Xuan.
This looks like the first game again. BSC coming in and just dealing damage extremely early.
Dealing damage extremely early and just trying to get a little bit of intel to find out where Masashi is within that jungle. And now he's able to take his Azure Golem, takes his Crimson completely uncontested.
These type of early games are very interesting, especially it comes down to coaching staff or the players to really decide that where do they want to be tackling. And right now, if you're looking at Xuan, he's going to be a solid engager, but if you shut him down early, he's going to be having a tough time to really look for these angles.
Yeah.
You know what? Talking about angles, talking about beautiful things, those skins right over there, I like that Musashi skin. That is one of my favorite skins, and I know that all those anime fans, they're loving that one.
Yes, the Ichigo Kurosaki one. I got it myself. It is a beautiful skin, so much great. I mean, look at that, the graphics on that one. That's the Illuminate Slash. That looks so powerful that it could be your ultimate.
I mean, what kind of... Ooh, another 1v1 kill coming in from Xiang, but hey, what kind of, like, amazing game that you can see Elsa fighting Ichigo.
Yeah, maybe. It's the first time I've ever seen it in my life, right? But there we go. We've always good at first things. At least try things once within your life. But right now, speaking of trying, I mean, we need to see a little bit more trying here for Xuan up for the side of Nova Esports, right? I mean, they really don't want to lose that side lane this early.
It would be just very bad for their hopes right now just to finish the game in a 2-0. If Xuan just keeps falling in there again and again, it's not only the fact that Xuan is going to fall behind, it's just the fact that Fatih is just going to be online so early.
Exactly, and you do not want a Fatih to be really jumping on your backline in every attempt. Just look at the goal lead coming in from this clash lane. That's a 1,000 goal lead single-handedly delivered by Fatih towards the side of Xuan.
And it's only 3 minutes of the game, right?
That's too fast for my liking, to be honest. I mean, if that was my Clash laner in my ranked games, I'd be like, boy, you need to do something. If I was a jungler, I'd be giving over some more aid up to that top side of the map, wouldn't you, Sagi?
I mean, it's Xuan. He's the star player coming in from Nova Esports. I do believe that if it's anyone, he will find an angle and a way to bounce back into this game.
It's a rat, it's Nova. It's not like it's just the 5 casters that we're always playing online.
Hey, we didn't get to play our game last day because somebody decided to do something different with their lives, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm really sorry.
That means we're going to play 2 games tonight.
Today, I'm going to be online, boy. You know me. You know me.
You know him, that's Isaac, and he makes his words count. And look at this map state right now. We see a bit of a focus here coming in from Nova Esports to get this bot lane priority so that this Marco Polo does not have a good farming spree. On the side of the clash lane here, Xuan is still suffering from so much pressure as he has no priority at all.
No priority?
None. Look at him, like he needs to start rotating and just... In a moment, he's just gonna have to let go of that clash lane. He won't be able to protect that turret no more.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the crucial point though, right? We are getting the neutral objectives up within that 2 seconds now. So Tyrant and Overlord for the first time in this game are now online.
And right now, we look at Muji here. Thanks to the Sparks Watch dagger being picked up by JR, that's a lot of damage being poked onto Muji's face. But looking at no BSE, they seem to be not wanting to contest this Tyrant at all.
Nobody's going to take that one, but look at that. It's going to be DN trying to keep an eye on that just to see the Tyrant fall and go to the side of Nova Esports.
Going to the side of Nova Esports is definitely going to benefit the likes of Wendy and Muchi, right? That damage coming through a lot earlier, being amplified for the Coming and the D-Ranger is crazy. Looking to try and get those stacks onto Dian is what Wendy is trying to do here. But ultimately, they forced him away to get this T1 down to the bottom side of the map.
And that's the importance of actually having to force the Marco Polo out of the lane. If you give him such a good early to mid game, he's going to be a monster towards the mid game here, and that is a good decision coming in from the Nova bunch. But right now, goalie is equally tied for both teams here.
It might be a 2v2 right over there. Luna's going to jump in.
Oh, CY just committed the duel to the death, but did not die. But it's still time because Xuan is left to the dogs, and that's a 3v1 takedown there. BSC getting that 3rd kill on the board.
It's gonna be horrible to be Xuan right now. His screen is going black every single minute. What is going on?
What is going on? BSE is capitalizing for the fact that Xiang has been winning his lane. This is due to the good planning coming in from BSE and the coaching staff to really put pressure on the star player of Nova Esports.
Gotta put pressure onto that core players, right? I mean, you can't let them just shine within these best of threes when so much is on the line and when it is Xuan on that Dharma. But we do see the pay respects down to the bot side of the map as well, obviously trading those T1s across the gorge for now. Right, at this moment in time, it's only a few hundred gold difference.
It's only a few hundred gold because there are still a lot of gold being funneled towards Wendy. And we talked about this. Wendy's late game is what to be feared about Nova Esports and Xuan. He just has to find that one perfect engage.
He's going to force that ulti out from Waypit, that is going to be very painful for them. Look at that.
Xuan gets the True Puncher onto the side of BSE, and there it is, the pain goes down.
And that's the perfect engage we're talking about. You can't beat 0-3, you can't beat 0-5. But once you find that, you nail it. And once again, Wendy might be caught out.
Yes, direct consequences of that action. They get the Azure Golem, and they're looking to get a little bit more. Musan King, he's like, hey, I don't need my blue. I'm going to take down Wendy. I'm going to take down 2. But same time, that is a 3-1 trade.
CY right now is standing up in business and taking that double kill for him. It's going to be amazing right now for Nova.
He goes in for more. Musa King wipes down Xuan. It's like paying them back, takes down CY as well.
Musan King with a triple kill. He did not miss a single new moon until the end of the fight, securing amazing team fight, a triple kill win for BSE.
You thought that your double was cool? My triple is cooler.
I can say 3's always bigger than 2, right? So he was definitely looking to prioritize that push there within those team fights, but a really good team fight there from BSE, putting them back in the stride within this best of 3. We're gonna have a look at that replay once again.
And just look at this. New Moon onto Waypit, gap close, killing Wendy, making sure that he always has a stack onto the members of Nova Esports. Up to the very end, he always adds his ultimate. Up to this point, okay, look, JR, Musa King, cornering in the 2v4, getting that double kill. Waypit wants to shield CY, but immediately gets punished by the spell 1 of Luna. Beautiful.
Yeah. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication there. I mean, we saw that obviously 2 of the members of Nova was kind of separated away to the top side of the map, and then it's like, guys, no, we need you here. CY is like, come on, guys, we need to go and try and get this Musan King takedown. But speaking of takedowns, T1 down to the bot side is taken down here for BSE.
As we move back into the game, it's 8 minutes right now. It's going to be a little bit of an advantage for BSE, right? And not only an advantage in goal, I would say in the morale, because Nova thought that they had a good fight in there, and BSE completely shut the door in their faces.
But it's still only a 2,000 goalie here right now, Isaac. We still have such a long game to go because 8 minutes 30 seconds, second Tyrant has spawned. The fight seems to be formulating around this Crimson Golem that's about to be spawned in the upcoming 3 seconds.
Yeah, you don't want to be losing that T2 just yet if you are Nova Esports, because that's going to put a lot of pressure on, but they want to make sure they do secure that Crimson Golem. It goes over to Muchi as well, so going into the right place, and they're able to secure it.
Moving down to the mid lane, look at that. The bangers are going to come in. They're going to put a little bit of pressure, but that's going to give advantage just for BSE to take on that Tyrant. They know that they can rush the Tyrant, and they might go for the Sure Golem as well.
We have seen this situation before when last game BSE was immensely ahead in the early game here, but look, Wendy, 2 items in, slowly working towards his 3rd item here. He will be a firepower that, check goes in but misses the engage.
Ooh, he gets the untargetable, which is going to be, nicely timed there by Waypit. He waits, his patience is a virtue, and it comes through with some clarity.
Xuan might have missed that one, but there was Waypit to say that there is a team behind Xuan. If Xuan is not in the moment, Waypit can come in to save him.
But that's a big cooldown here. 20 seconds on the clock. You do not have the flash coming in from the Dharma. Where is your backline? It says none. Waypit also does not have the ultimate at all. This situation looks so good for Blackstreet Esports.
Very, very costly as we're going to make it to the 10-minute mark. and the Dark Tyrant and Dark Overlord are going to become online.
Yeah, it's pretty scary here. We're getting a bit of a 1v1 down to the bot side, just trying to keep that minion wave procured there for the side of BSE. But right now, a bit of a push into the top side of the map as well.
Fatih and Dharma. Fatih knows that Dharma has nothing on him today, Sagi.
Exactly, and as long as Strength does not get to go to this team fight, the Fatih will always be much stronger. And look at this, Nova starts off the Tyrant here. Wave Pit still does not have the ultimate here. BSE still looks to push in. Musa King jumps in.
Musa King just jump in, but it is going to be CY that gets the claim here. The duel to the death, sorry, onto Musa King is going to be the disruptor that they needed. That is it. The battle strategy coming through as well from Wendy, connects and does a lot of damage, opening up that T1.
And Strength, he found the perfect Truth Mantra onto two core members, taking out Musa King and DN. Wow, CY wins the Smite War against Musa King.
And that was without the flash, right? That was completely only on movement and pure skill.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this situation, we've seen it. Early game goes to BSE Nova. Thanks to their ability to capitalize on these team fights, comes out once again on top.
And the timing is just perfect, right? Like CY comes in, takes the Dark Tyrant, and then they go into the fight. Break that down for us.
And look at this. Okay, CY steals the Tyrant first, and look at Strength's position immediately. Positions to get two-man knockout, sealing the deal. But if you look at BSE's position, they weren't ready at all.
No, not ready at all. But what is ready is the flash. What is ready is the ultimate here for Shuan. But it is going to be JR face checking with a splendid revolver. Nova is trying to bait to the side of BSE here with the potential Shadow Overlord.
Look at Wendy's damage, and JR is already half. They can't contest this. This is the late game insurance here, and they have to back off from any sort of attempt that they want to contest this.
Yeah, Wave Pit there, using the Unbridled Outburst could be a little bit detrimental here for the side of Nova Esports going into this next team fight. I mean, he maybe used it as a bit of a phase check, seeing if he could check that Musa King was in that brush to the mid.
Exactly, but still, he is now going on to the jungle camp, making sure that he stacks it before the Overlord marches towards the bottom side of Blackstreet Esports.
And marching right now is going to be Nova taking that tier 2 turret. Right now they want to put some pressure on the high ground. Is it going to be contested? The end comes in just to kind of like face check a little bit. Jirhon wants to clean the wave, and the wave is going to be cleaned away.
Clearing the wave there and putting a bit of pressure onto the backline. It's going to be Wendy with his ultimate, but there it is, the splendid revolver, the Fever Barrage, doing a lot of damage onto Nova Esports. Siyoung getting the double kill.
JR comes out huge, pairing the Purify, and the Winter's Approach immediately secures 2 kills. The core carries of Nova Esports, Wendy and Muji, goes down during the siege.
It is clutch performance after clutch performance. And 2v1 right over here, forcing Musa King to go back as he came in to try to check on the red.
Try to go for the red, try to get a little bit more of the resources away from the side of Nova Esports. Because when you are building attack damage Musashi, you want more damage from that Crimson.
Look at that, beautiful. As you mentioned, Black, if you do not have the Unbridled Outburst coming in from Wave Pit, that was immediately punished from the side of JR on this Marco Polo.
Yes, again, BSE just playing to the facts and their intel that they have onto the side of Nova Esports, paying back that takedown into the mid lane, they get the T1.
This game is just going from red to blue, from blue to red. It could be for anyone. Whoever that makes the mistake is going to pay it with the defeat.
And that's the beauty of strong teams here. It's never a one-sided game. There are always multiple angles for these teams to come back, to formulate the team fight. And this is really good Honor of Kings that we're looking at.
This is top tier Honor of Kings that we are looking at as well. But I mean, we have to give a bit of respect here, obviously, to the British charge here onto the Marco Polo. For those at home, once you go in, this is going to set up such splendor for your Fever Barrage as well. You get to stun those within the circle and make them, render them useless.
It is a must-have item for Marco Polo over here in the mid and late game. We can see everyone just moving around. Musa King trying to find the angle from behind, and look at that, Lamb.
Into the back line, it's going to be CY and Musa King just going toe-to-toe once again, but Dion is going for the unending sorrow, so he's untargetable, but it is going to get hit by the Unbridled Outburst once again, leaping on top. Currently a 3-1 trade, 2. Wendy goes down, Musa King making sure work, but JR is going to get taken down. Schwan here looking for that glory He may get the takedown here. Is he going to do enough damage? He cannot.
And now Shen managed to stop Musang King from recalling. Look at the mid lane wave. It's going towards the base of Blackstreet Esports.
This might be the end of the game. Musang King is gonna be the last hope, but no. The minions are coming in. Moons and Waypit want to put the
Look at Musang King.
He's trying his best. He's trying to get his speedy boots on, but the minions aren't there. It's Muchi and Waypit. Is it going to be enough? Oh, he's able to clear out the minions. Bring him through, lads. The Trojan horse.
That's
it. But at the same
Done.
time, Xian comes back with the ultimate defense.
Musang King makes it sure that he dashes back to base. What a crucial defense coming in here.
I am loving this game. This is top level entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. BSE against Nova.
Absolute cinema at this point, right? I mean, look at that crystal, so low on health, but at the same time, Nova needs to come back here.
This 5v5 was played magnificently from Nova Esports, but still, it was still a bit short. But Xiang jumping onto Wendy, they do not go for the further engage. They look to secure this Shadow Tyrant that's about to be resetted.
The Shadow Tyrant right now is going to be the next target. It's going to be Nova, the ones that come and check. They do not want to let this go untested. Right now, BSC wants to re-aggro. They must push back. Dying right over here with the crystal being as it is right now would be the final chapter of this.
A final chapter indeed. Maybe the final, not even the final nail just yet, but Xuan is into the front line. There it is. The Fever Barrage just get cancelled out now. JR not having the impact that we've seen before. Unbridled Outburst didn't catch anybody, but it was enough to keep away the side of BSE. CY needs to extreme speed out of there, or he goes back to base just like that.
And still, Musang King continues with the new one. He's still going. Wendy does not hit the ultimate. Gets reset on. Musang King comes up clutch.
Right now, it's going to be double kill. It's going to be a 3-2 trade for BSE. Right now, they've had the game. They've got the Dark Tyrant, 16 minutes and 30. We might end up seeing the Tempest Dragon.
Maybe. Just for the first time today, the Tempest Dragon is trying to surface onto the Gorge. But we are seeing the very fine line once again towards that late game. A few hundred gold difference between both of these teams.
It's such a back and forth game. Just look at the damage department. Everybody is making sure that they mark a stamp onto the Gorge, making sure that if they want to win this game, they win it as 5.
We talked about just trying to stop Wendy, right? And Wendy's going to deal so much damage right now that BSE needs to think that if they want to take this game, some of magical defense items need to be made.
They need to be made. I mean, even here, you can see that Musang King's looking for a lifeline. He builds the Splendor, but here it is. That vital replay. CY getting caught out a little bit too early for my liking in that team fight. And then towards the end, Muchi gets hit by Musang King. Wendy tries his best to get enough of that back line, but he just doesn't have the front line for help from Xuan or Waypit.
And especially when you build the Splendor, you counter the refresh coming in from Wendy's winning strategy, the ultimate. So if it doesn't refresh it, he loses out so much execution and damage.
At the same time, even though we've got the Primal Bond, they're looking to go for the Overlord. A little bit of a remnant love story that Nova did in game number 1.
It is going to be free. BSE is going to take that Dark Overlord at the 18 minutes mark. And this is going to be bad news for Nova. They might not be able to go with the 2-0 winning here.
It'd be a bit of a shame, right, if they aren't able to get this one out, but would we rather see a full best of 3 or a 2-0 sweep? That is up to BSE at this point in the game, but here it is. The Unbridled Outburst catches Young here, but it's not going to be enough. The Fever Barrage onto the backline doesn't take down anybody just yet.
The fight goes on, but still Xiang looks for the engage. Musang King has the Sage Sanctuary, but does not expend it. Only JR expends the Sage Sanctuary coming in from Blackstreet Esports. A siege attempt is being mitigated.
They tried to go over there for the push. It was unsuccessful. Right now, they need to go back. And sadly for them, those Vanguards are not going to have the effect that they wanted.
For both of these teams, that was the best case scenario at this point, right? Nobody died, but they did get a few bits of ultimates out of the way.
Yes.
The Fever Barrage, the Unbridled Outburst. They got to pay attention to these next few team fights.
And especially Sage Sanctuary, this item that allows you to revive after dying once, it only is able to be used twice in the game.
Yes.
Once that two times gets expended, you can no longer buy it or use it.
No longer buy or use it, but also any passive items now, as we're getting to that 20-minute mark, you can upgrade them. The likes of the Blood Rage, likes of Splendor.
Exactly, to the Moon Goddess, to the Phantom. That's the 20-minute game-winning item here. And right now, 19 minutes on the clock. 30 seconds until Tempest Dragon. We look at all these items here. Aside from the roamers, most of the heroes on the board are full slotted.
I'm telling you right now, we're gonna come into this the next 25 seconds and it's just gonna be a little bit of a dance. Nobody wants to engage right now because that would mean just giving the Tempest Dragon for free.
Yeah, we don't be giving any kind of Tempest Dragon for free here. We do have a bit of a priority down to the bot side of the map, which is going to benefit the side of Nova here right now. They have the pressure.
And minion waves are extremely important right now. You have to set an equal wave, making sure that it does not bounce to your tower as of this point.
Nova has a little bit of an advantage since they have super minions over there in the mid lane. Right now it's going to be 20 minutes. The Tempest Dragon is going to be online, and this might be the final battle.
This final battle is being started right now. Both teams want to take this mid priority before starting the Tempest Dragon. Both junglers are looking eye to eye. Smite is exceptionally important here.
We're going to wait and see right now. They're going to try to jump. He stuns Xuan, tries to go away. He doesn't have his ulti. Blam, take this from here.
Yeah, there we go. Obviously, the damage is going to land onto Xiong instead. And there it is. CY does get the claim, but is he going to stay alive? Look enough to have that smite. The Unbridled Embers catches Dion. Musang King needs to dash out of this one because if they lose their smite, they lose that Tempest.
Zihong pays the price of JR being over-aggressive. Flash forward blocks the winning strategy from Wendy. If not, that will spell disaster. It's still a 4v5. Lucas Yang, he's looking for the Clash Lane wave here. It might be a potential backdoor that we're looking at.
It might be a potential backdoor right now. Nova wants to rush this Tempest Dragon, but they want to go for the kill as well. Wendy being maniatic, he goes in, he tries to take the kill, yet he's gonna run away with a little bit of his life.
Life literally on the tether there, but you can kind of see the macro play here for Xiang is trying to be the saving grace, but Xuan is here as well to kind of mitigate that. But Tempest Dragon secured by Nova CY.
And look at the map movement here. Muji and Weipin wants to collapse on Xiang. If Xiang falls here, it's gonna spell disaster for BSE.
Nova Xuan, he's got the Tempest Dragon buff. It's gonna be a 1v3. What can Xiang do? He goes against the wall. He's going to fall first time. He's gonna resurrect, but only to meet his fate because he's gonna die as well.
Yes, a takedown here for BSE in this late game is going to be that party, and that is crucial.
That 40 seconds on the clock, no more Sage Sanctuary for the next few minutes here. And right now, the Tempest Dragons are slowly but surely crashing towards the mid and top side. Look at JR, he wants a 1v1.
Look at that right now. The turret is going to fall. The dragons are going to come in. And this is going to be the fight on the high ground that might send Nova to the King's Groove.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a base right there. We saw the attempt for JR, but he's gaining the movement speed out of battle. Boots being clicked on, but it is going to be the base being disrupted. Nova Esports are your kings of Group C.
The kings of Group C, the champions of MKL. Even though that game was so back and forth, these two games were legendary.
Absolutely.
Look at them right now. They are elated. It was such an amazing, incredible, legendary performance from Nova Esports. And now let's wait and see what's gonna happen, because we knew that one of those two teams needed to go down to the lower bracket, and one of them right now, as they shake hands, is gonna move all the way to the top 8.
Top 8 is gonna be Nova Esports potentially, as obviously they get into the group stage. They've qualified for the playoffs. Their next point of this tournament is just seeing where they're gonna be situated into that playoffs. But BSE, however, they drop to the lower bracket.
Lately, I feel I can't find my feet. Pushing closer, my heart skips a beat, and now I'm falling deeper than a fly. I can't control it. Dark against the sky, it's not so black and white. It's like I told him, there's things that I can't fight. just keep going. I just keep going.